Hi folks, and welcome to another DIY project. Today I'm working with this Headplay headset. Now this is a headset goggles for flying drones, for those of you that don't know what it is. It's something like the DJI, maybe not as sophisticated as DJI's particular version, but in terms of picture quality and how it works, excellent, can't complain. You can feed your HDMI lead directly and HDMI signal directly into the side of it there, and your lead just plugs in like so, and you have this lead then connected to this part here. Yeah, there we go. Like so. And what that does then is it goes around in through him and connects to your battery pack like so. That's all fine. The battery pack then sits using Velcro. It sits there like that. No problem so far, but I'm not happy. So, why am I not happy? Well, when this thing is on your head and you're wearing it, it's very awkward to be at this plugging in and out of this lead here. So the project today is I'm trying to eliminate the need for the battery out here. I want to install batteries inside here that is permanent, and that this lead is only used for charging purposes, and when you have it charged you can undo it there and unplug it, and away you go and fly. Now, I don't know if this is going to work. The batteries I'm going to try are these two here. And I have them connected in series, as you can see quite simply there. And I have a little typical kind of RC model aircraft type plug that you would buy in any good model shop. And that's the male version there, or end of it, and this is the female, and basically the two just plug together. So what I'm hoping is that these two batteries will fit inside permanently, and that I can use these little plugs inside to leave it that I can disconnect it if ever I do have to open it to do any work on it. Why these batteries? Well, they are 6,000 milliampere hour batteries. They're LiPo cells. The one that came with it is a 1,000 milliampere hour battery, so I should theoretically get 6 times more duration out of these two than I would get out of this. So that's basically what I'm trying to do. As I say, I don't know if these will fit inside or not yet. But I just connected these in series. What do I mean by that? Again, to explain for those of you that don't know, connecting the batteries in series, you have a positive. Where did I get something here? Right, you have a positive here and a negative, and you have a positive and you have a negative. So you connect your negative of this battery to the positive of this one, and then you just take your negative out for whatever you're supplying, and then you take the positive of this one out as your main positive to feed whatever device you're connecting it to. And that's basically the two batteries connected in series. And the fact that they are in series, you get the sum of the voltages. Okay, so just put them to one side for a minute and we take a look at the actual unit itself. I think I'll disconnect this cable as well. Now this looks heavy, and it's not. It's made of foam, polystyrene foam type thing. It's high compact stuff. So it's strong, it's durable, but it's very, very extremely light, in fact, is the word to use. For those of you that have these Headplay units, you know exactly what I'm talking about, and they are extremely comfortable on your head because of the fact that they're light. Big 7-inch screen, extremely clear. It's like you're sitting in the bird looking down on the world. So the first thing we need to do is we need to open this unit here and see exactly what's inside. Now I have had this open before to put lenses. I'll just start by opening this here and get the proper screwdriver, and I'll show you the lens when I get it open. There's only 4 screws kind of at the corners. And there's one, and two, and the other two, well, the one, and I don't have him fully loosened, and 2. Right, so that's the 4 of the screws out. So it's the bottom half that comes away from the top half, and you have to be careful because of the screen this end. Alright, and we'll just lift it up away from everything. Right. So, dust on the lens. So this is the inside of it. This is the top half we're looking at. And here's our screen. And these are the new lenses that I purchased from a company in Germany that specialise in making these lenses. Now, what I did in order to prevent these from falling around, and that's the reason why they're not falling around when I open it, is because I have them hot glued down to the actual unit itself. So there's no way they can move. This guy is also hot glued. This is the control area here. And it's for setting your brightness, your colour, volume on this built-in speaker, all sorts of settings. So the screen sits in a little channel down along inside here, and that's the top half, so we're not concerned with it for the minute, because I don't know, I think it would be the bottom half, this one here, that I would be using. The original Fresnel lens that came with it sat down in this slot here, and the screen is sitting down in this slot in here. I don't know if you can actually see that. So I'm hoping, because this is the bottom half, will my batteries fit? Oh, wow. Oh, wow. They do. Actually, these batteries were made for this. okay. They won't block the bottom of the screen, so they're fitting down between the two channels where the screen goes and where the original Fresnel lens goes. So my wire can go down there, and that would be more or less it in terms of layout. Now obviously I have to fix the two batteries in. I can't just leave them like that. So I was thinking maybe this Velcro, and it has sticky back to it, and it is pretty strong. So just take out our batteries again. And push him over there. Turn them over that way. And I need a scissors. Yes, so scissors. Which way would I be better going? 1, 2, 3. No, you better go on the width way, that's right. I'll cut this into 4 equal patches. Say that way. Cut him in half just to make it even. Right. I think I'll put him down next on the bottom. Yeah. I'll put this. Like so. That way, if ever I have to remove the batteries or replace them, I can, because the Velcro will allow me to do that. Whereas if I glue them in with hot glue, which I could do, I'd be much quicker, a lot handier. The problem is if I need to replace batteries or do anything with them, I could run into trouble. We put him down in there, like so. I'll put him down in there, like so. Will that work? I think that's holding it. Like the glue on the Velcro is pretty strong. It's alright. Now the only other thing, excuse me for a minute, the only other thing I need, because those batteries are shiny silvery colour, they are going to reflect the screen, and we can't have that. So I'm going to use this. I just cut it out earlier out of a piece of, binoculars, an old binoculars bag, carry bag, and it's black and it's non-reflective. So I can cover the batteries with it. Now I'd have to obviously cut it to the exact shape. Am I going to lose a lot of my screen there? I'm beginning to feel that I think best thing I can do is put this back together again and power up the screen and see, am I losing out on info? So I will just put this back into it, this way. Like I have to get the screen down in its thing is, don't over tighten these, because if you do, there is the danger that you could shear the threads, because after all they are just screwing into plastic, and the last thing you want to do is shear threads. So just a little pinch once they get tight, just an extra little pinch, that's all that's required. And so this is very much a test run, just to see how this will work. Now obviously I'm not going to be able to show you, but you'll just have to take my word for it. Right. And then we connect our battery. And plug him in, switch it on. No. Okay. There isn't a bad reflection at all. I probably would get away with it. Now the other thing, of course, is where we get our power from. So I'll open this again. That's to one side. Now I think, because the Velcro is creating that extra little bit of bulk, let's see how easy it would be get it up if I did have to change. Geez, that Velcro is strong. That is stuck solid. Right. Can't believe how well the glue is holding. So if I were to push those wires underneath, how would it work? Not really long enough. little negative one isn't quite long enough, but that can be easily changed. Will it? Actually it will. It would fit very neatly between. What I'm going to do is run these two wires between the two velcros there, and that way it'll be under the battery, that it won't be getting any danger of getting it in line of sight. Right, so we need to lengthen that piece of wire. That should be pretty straightforward. Okay, it's better looking. Right, so that's going to work there. And then these two are feeding up into the system. Now earlier, I just put these aside for a second and we'll talk about supplying. As I said to you earlier, what I'm hoping to just use this lead for is for charging the system, the batteries. So there's a positive and a negative, and there's corresponding pins here. And 3 is negative and 4 is positive. And it's the center pin in there is the positive one. The outer part here is the negative. So I have to get in here to the top half and tap into that with this, which is the other part of this connection here. Right, so how do we do that? We have 2 screws here. That screwdriver is not the best. So 1, 2, and it's come away ever so neatly and easily. Now you can actually see here where I have a switch, hot glued a switch into the system, because again it came with no switch. So I know that the switch is breaking the positive. So from this I'm going to be coming down through here. What I think I will do, if I can manage this, is to come down inside that channel there. Where is my little connector? I don't know if that's going to be long enough, or will it? Actually, it may well be. Right. So what I think I'll do is I'll come down, I'll go down through inside and follow that track down along so that it will hide the wiring. Also, what I did, you remember earlier you was going to use a black material to cover the batteries, but it had this foam stuff on the back of it that made it kind of thick. So I peeled all that away, that I was left with just the black. And what I ended up doing then was covering just the top side of the batteries with the black stuff. I hope you can see that there. Now also I ran the wires underneath between the two velcros, and then I brought them neatly around and up here into the little connector, and then I hot glued the connector to this position here on the headset, the bottom section of it, and it's protruding a little bit to allow that when the top half comes down to meet it, it has, there it is there, it has the other part of that connection. And this now is a little bit awkward to show you, but the two wires from it are running down inside here and down and out through the top, but because it's behind where the Fresnel lens used to sit, you won't be able to see anything, so they're well hidden, and it's hot glued down as well, and the two wires are running out through the top to this part here. There they are. So this is my positive and this is my negative. So it's a case of tapping them in to the two wires that I was showing you here. And then it's connected. I just soldered tapped in the two wires here, and I'm going to show you them. I just get a screwdriver here that's pointy. Now you can see the red one that I brought up from underneath is going directly in here into the common on the switch, and the black one that I brought up, which is this one here, I've just split this wire, which was one of the ground was going into number 3 pin, split it and soldered all 3 together and put a piece of shrink wrap around the whole lot to protect it. So now it's only a case of reassembling the whole lot, and that might be a bit easier said than done, because I didn't leave a huge amount of wire, but I feel I left enough at the same time. So how am I going to do this? Right. Trying to get this angled as best I can. Now, because I've disturbed the wires, it's getting it a little bit harder to sit down where it's supposed to mount. There we go. They have to come out that way. Okay, that makes it a little bit more awkward to get the screws back in. But however, if I can get this to show you properly. It's a bit of a tight squeeze, but we don't need it to be readily accessible, because at the end of the day we're not going to be opening and closing this on a regular basis. So it doesn't need to be. I need to tighten these two here. One, two. Down here. Down here. And again, just a pinch. That's it. So right, the monitor is sitting straight, everything is okay. My switch is off. Just check, yeah. And now I will put the bottom half down. Before I do, I think I may clean two plugs. Should meet inside. I don't know if you can see that. There they go. And together we go. A little bit of a squeeze, but it will work. So now the moment of truth. Does it actually work? So just move this over here and bring it under there and flick the switch, and yes, we have power. And I'll try and see, can you see that? See, the screen has gone blue inside. So yes, it seems to be working. Now I have tested this, and the standard battery that came with it would run it for 20 minutes, and I've tested these batteries with it, the new ones, and I got 2.5 hours of running duration. Now they weren't flat at that point, but I didn't care to flatten them to preserve the batteries and, you know, treat them well and not over discharge them. So 2.5 hours as against 20 minutes, that's a big help, and definitely does work. So that's it, folks. That's the whole project. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I hope if you decide to do this, it works for you as good as it's working for me. And I'll see you next time. Bye for now. Happy flying.